Kelsey.
Hi,
Thank you for coming to therapy today. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. How has this week been since we last met?
It's been okay. Me and Kevin have just been fighting a little bit more this week.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that. What do those fights look like for you?
So pretty much what's just been happening is like he comes home from work and he instantly just goes to try to like relax, like play video games or watch a football game, and I start to make dinner and I ask him to watch the kids, and he will get kind of annoyed with me for asking him to watch the kids while he's been at work all day. He thinks that he should be able to relax, and then I get frustrated because I can't cook dinner and watch two kids at the same time. So we just kind of start getting into an argument because of that.
Okay. That sounds frustrating.
Yeah.
And do these arguments ever get loud?
Yeah, sometimes they can get loud, which gets me upset because I don't like to scream in front of my kids.
Okay. And how's your anxiety during this?
It makes my anxiety really bad during it.
So that all sounds very frustrating. And I can understand why that would be frustrating for you. I think to process these arguments and maybe help us work through them, we can utilize some dialectical behavior therapy skills. Specifically, I want to focus on a distress tolerance skill to help you when you're in that moment of distress before reacting in the argument. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I have a worksheet right here, and this is called the STOP skill. So STOP is a distress tolerance skill, and it's an acronym. STOP. So S meaning stop, T meaning take a step back, O means observe, and P means proceed mindfully. So when we think of this acronym in that moment, we can think, okay, stop, and then go through the letters. So S, stop, don't react. Freeze, stop in the moment before we react in the argument. Try to think about your emotions that are going through your body right now. So T, take a step back. So take a break, let it go, take a deep breath, and don't let the emotions and the feelings that you're thinking have you act out impulsively. And then O, observe. So notice what's going on inside your body, your emotions, how you physically feel, as well as what's going on externally. What's going on in the environment? Where are your children? What's going on with your children in this moment? Where's your husband? What's going on with your husband in this moment? Try to observe the environment. And then P, proceed mindfully. So acting with awareness. So thinking, how do I want to proceed in this moment? How do I want to react in this moment? Because now you've been able to stop and take a step back from the argument, right? You've been able to try to look at it from an outside point of view and not react immediately. Because a lot of times when we react immediately, we're going to say something we don't mean, and we're going to speak out of emotions, right? So this is to help us try to prevent that and be mindful of what we're saying and try to stop us in that moment of distress and move past that distress before we move forward and proceed. Okay. So when you're thinking about this fight, at what moment during it do you think you'd be able to stop for a moment and take a step back and observe?
Like during the fight?
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe like while I'm in like the kitchen and I can just take a step back and like look to see like maybe why he's getting frustrated, like what the kids are doing that's frustrating him.
Okay.
And like maybe see like if there's a way that I can help him so that he doesn't get frustrated with like what he's doing, helping them. So I think that's really what it is. It's that when he wants to just relax and help, and he wants to relax. So like our toddler, for instance, always needs a lot of attention. So maybe I can stop and like help him like see like ways that he can distract our toddler so they're not bothering him as much.
Okay. So in that moment of taking a step back and observing, those are the thoughts that might go through your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like ways I can kind of distract my toddler so that maybe he won't go to me as much and he won't go to his father as much while we're trying to do things.
Okay. And then being able to proceed mindfully. Do you think that this skill would help you in that moment to try to move past that moment of distress?
Yes, because I think I instantly get frustrated, so then that comes out in my tone of voice, and then that gets him riled up too. So I think if I stopped and I looked into his perspective too of maybe why he's getting frustrated, then maybe I could not come at it so aggressively too.
Okay. And I like your responses because you're kind of giving responses to another skill that I want to talk about, which speaks more towards reacting and how you would react in that moment with that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interpersonal effectiveness skill, which is another dialectical behavior therapy skill. And that one is called GIVE. So it's another acronym. We like acronyms in this form of therapy.
Okay.
So GIVE is GIVE. So G, be gentle. I, act interested. V, validate. And E, use an easy manner. So how do you think in that moment you could think through GIVE and starting with the letter G, being gentle? Once we're past that moment of distress, now we're going to move forward after that moment of distress. How do you think that you could be gentle?
How it could be so after, this is after the fight has already started.
Yes. So after the fight started, you used your stop skill. You thought through that stressful moment. You moved past that moment of distress, and now you're proceeding.
Okay. So I definitely think by looking at examples,
On the worksheet,
yeah, my tone of voice, not raising my voice and talking gently and not, not talking down. I think maybe not pointing out, not going back and forth of who does what and seeing from his perspective. So maybe showing him that I understand why he could get frustrated and just maybe calmly explain why I get frustrated.
Okay.
Instead of instantly going at each other's throats.
Okay, so trying to talk with a more gentle tone towards him.
Right.
Okay, so to prevent further argument.
And not with, I guess you'd say, an attitude.
Okay. Okay.
He likes to say. I give him an attitude and stuff, but sometimes I don't realize that I'm giving an attitude. So kind of being more calm and, like you said, taking a step back to realize, not to give an attitude and talk calmly.
Okay. And so, speaking gently, like you said, and talking calmly without an attitude. And then for I, acting interested, how do you think that you could appear as though you're interested in what he's saying when he's explaining to you what's wrong?
Sitting down with him and actually he gets frustrated when we're trying to talk if I'm doing other things while we're talking, trying to clean up or something. So giving him my undivided attention.
Okay. So not doing other tasks.
Right. So not touching my phone or not cleaning or anything like that.
Okay.
Sitting down maybe on the couch with him or at the kitchen table.
And validate, V for validate. How do you feel you could validate in that moment?
I mean, I guess I could just tell him that I appreciate that he works hard and I understand that when he comes home he wants to relax, but I just need him to understand that moment I just also need his help, and that maybe after dinner he can go and play his video games or something while I'm cleaning up and I'll put the kids to bed or something.
Okay, so acknowledging his feelings in the moment and what might help him,
right,
while also verbalizing what's going to help you in that moment to try to prevent an argument, not going against each other, working together.
Right.
Okay. And then the last letter is E, so use an easy manner. So this is kind of, wrapping up the argument, I guess you could say, and proceeding so that it doesn't turn into an argument. How do you feel you could go about it in an easy manner with each other?
We're very touchy, so we hug or we'll kiss.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
So using like affection towards each other
Yeah.
to move forward past it instead
Right.
of creating space between one another.
Right.
Okay. So going back through it, give GIVE, so being gentle, so speaking without an attitude and speaking more gently. Okay. I act interested, so listening to what he has to say, sitting down and not doing other activities in that moment, not cleaning the house, being present. Okay. And V, validate, so acknowledging his feelings and what would help him while also verbalizing what will help you. And then E, moving forward with affection towards each other, so to not create space and create that barrier between the two. Okay. Do you think that this is something you could do after you move past that moment of anger and distress in the argument?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think this will, thinking past about your past week and how it's been more tough, do you think that these two skills would be beneficial?
Yes, because I think especially recently, like when he comes home, I'm expecting it to go that way. So I think if I go in it like knowing to try these steps, like I think it would be very beneficial.
Great. Well, this was a great session today. I think we did a lot of work, and I look forward to hearing about how you utilize these skills next week.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.